Hello, everyone. Hi. Welcome on in. Ow. I didn't even do anything. But hi, Agaza. Welcome on in. Hi, dear son. Welcome, welcome. I was supposed to finish. I was supposed to finish this model today, but I got busy. So here we are. Maybe we'll be productive today. I wanted to finish this one and then we continue the full body one. But yeah. Oh well. I did finish the eyes and the mouth. So yeah, what have you guys been up to? Hi, Kay. Welcome on in. Are you here to brag about your romantic life again? Nah, I'm just messing with you. But I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. My BF is an adorable chef. Yeah, there we go. But that's a good thing, right? Beauty fades, but cooking is eternal. Get you someone who knows how to cook. Wise words from Ordi. Also, how are you doing, Stinky? I am doing good. A little bit tired, though. A part of me was wondering, do I just not stream today? But I'm like, hey, I have enough energy. So here I am. I considered doing another haste stream. We play the game instead of art, but I'm like, okay, we just have rigging left, and I've pretty much done all the hard parts. So yeah, this could be quiet EP stream for like a good 5 minutes before we start yapping and go off on whatever tangent. That'll probably wake me. Also started playing Farming Sim 25. It's fun. Do you know, I learned an interesting fact the other day. Apparently, it's very popular with IRL farmers. Who would have thought? I would have guessed if they were, doing real farming all day. The last thing I would want to do is a farm virtually. Getting old, no, old is, what's the word? Old is a frame of mind. Yeah, because it has lots of farming equipment, so they can check how they are, since they made very close to real ones. Imagine one of them going, honey, I've ran the simulations. We should get this tractor. It's actually in the name. Ori, thoughts on Transformers? I I saw how deep you guys went into the Transformers conversation on Featherstream. So I don't know if I want to touch that. I've only seen like the Michael Bay movies and not even all of them. Right? I think I just saw like the first three. What is even the last one that I saw? The one where humans try to make Transformers. And then they're basically the liquidy looking ones. I don't know what movie that is. Hold on. Let me search it up. It's an 80% chance someone did that. No, more like 100% chance. I'm 100% sure someone has done that. Okay. Transformers movie plot. Humanity makes their own Transformers. Age of Extinction, that's the movie. And this was made in 2014. I think that is the last one that I saw. Don, people are calling me. Anyway, or I recommend watching Transformers 1. Its peak. It has no humans because they don't exist yet. Is that the animated one where Megatron is not evil yet? Is the buzzing coming through the mic? Yeah, I think it is. Hold on, let me turn my phone on Do Not Disturb. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, the last one that I saw was this one in 2014. And honestly, I only remember that humans tried to make their own Transformers. Other than that, I can't remember anything about it. It's just big robot punch thing explosion. The origin story. Yeah, I'm not too interested in Transformers. I was just checking the name of the movie. Hi, Goldie. Welcome on in. We're doing something a little different today. I was supposed to finish this model and then continue yours, but then life happened. And here we are. That one is cute. Thank you. It's already like halfway rigged. Honestly, if we finish early, I can pull up your model. A part of me is wondering, am I too tired to have like my usual long streams? If not, yeah, we can always switch the model when we're done. Basically, life needs to have money. No, I had to go get some groceries and stuff like that. So I didn't have enough time to finish this. I was supposed to finish this, and then when I start stream, I continue yours. But yeah. How about cereal? You know what kind of cereal that I get? I get like what's it called? The Wheat Bix one. You know the one that old people eat? I take that one and I eat it with chocolate milk. So it is chocolate-y cereal ish, but it's not like the crazy sugary ones, you know? Good dinner? Yeah. You know what I do? I actually add like a bit of protein powder too in, so it's a more balanced meal. Wheat Bix is eaten raw in Australia. Okay, Wheat Bix raw is the kind of thing I imagine they feed to like horses. Protein powder to cereal. I put like a really tiny amount. Cause yeah, I don't eat a lot of meat, and I'm like, I don't have like a protein deficiency. I'm not taking like the giant scoopfuls, like the people who do crazy workouts. No, nothing like that. I just take like maybe a tablespoon, sprinkle it on in, and I get the chocolate flavored one, so it's extra chocolatey. Look, I eat junk and supplements. That's how I survive. These wheat things. Hold on. I'm sure you've seen this. Here we are. This one. It's Weetabix. Sorry, I forgot the A. I did see another off-brand one, which was just Weet-Bix, so that's probably what I was thinking about it. Never seen it, really? Oh, that's surprising. It's literally in every country I've ever gone to. There's been like a handful. It's not even here. Actually, yeah. When I was in Malaysia, it was there for a time. I don't know why. I didn't see it in too many shelves, but I did find the off-brand ones, which were basically the exact same thing. So yeah, I don't know. Food is food. No, it wasn't even spelt like wheat. It was spelt the exact same way as the original one, just without the A. And it was the exact same thing. Yeah, the branding doesn't really matter much to me. I could swap them and not notice the difference. I eat it because I want something quick like cereal for breakfast, but I can't be bothered to like make food, so this is like early in the morning. No one has time to do things that require thinking, you know? You know that one episode in Rick and Morty when aliens take over and people no longer eat food, they just eat pills that have all of the nutrition they need? That is what I want, right? I mainly eat food to survive. It's like it's an inconvenience. Because then you eat a lot of food, and then maybe you had too much, and then you fall into a food coma, and you've wasted like 2 hours of the day recovering from that? But I don't trust all of these meal replacement stuff where it's just like juice or some kind of milkshake. Those ones, they pretend that they're 100% healthy and okay to do, but yeah, your body is not designed to live like that. How dare you? Wheat Bix is an Australian, New Zealand thing. I don't know where it's from. I just eat it and I enjoy. I apologize. Just don't eat. Yeah, that doesn't work. Because then you have low blood sugar and then you can't concentrate and then you can't be productive. Being human is a struggle. I don't know how you guys do it. Wheat Bix is also very different. Is it though? Last stream we were discussing alcohol. This time we're discussing cereal. We just never know. What is the difference? Would you like to explain to us? Wheat Bix is better, but they're basically the same type of food, just different brands and maybe different quality. My point is that they're the same thing, not which one is better. My meals are kind of all over the place. So I don't really eat cereal that much. I would have thought, for someone who, how do you say this? Cereal is a very convenient meal, like meal eating time. Oh, okay. Yeah, if you're hungry, just eat whenever. I barely eat as is. Yeah, if I'm not careful, I have that same problem. So I always try to make sure that I get enough calories. Because, like, I could just be doing art and doing my own stuff. Next thing I know, the sun has set and I've had like one meal. So I haven't had lunch even though it's 12 a.m. in the morning. Well, technically, you've not had your first meal of the day since, a new day and all. But I get what you mean. Guys, we can't all have bad eating habits. We need to do better. Next ad break, go get food. Send pictures. I had bad eating habits since I was 10. Well, it's never too late to break a bad habit. I do drink a lot of water through weird times of the day. Well, you should be drinking water the entire day. I try to be a good example for my cats because, cats need to drink a lot of water. So I'm always just chugging it. I make sure they see me. I don't think that actually does anything. I just always have a bottle of water next to me. So can't afford food? Well, that is unfortunate. You know, what is a super cheap thing, which has like a lot of calories at very low cost? Peanut butter sandwiches. I'm not a big fan of jam, so I don't make like PB&J sandwiches. But yeah, bread is like super cheap, and a jar of peanut butter, close enough. I have 33 cents in my bank account. Well, I've been there. Try but it's so strong it covers the whole mouth. Yeah, if you only have like a peanut butter sandwich, I think like it. How do you say this? It's a bit dry, if that makes sense. But I don't know. That's my struggle meal of choice. What are other good struggle meals? I think rice is super cheap. But I've never been much of a rice guy. I said this to my Malaysian friends. They're like deported instantly. Get out of here. What did you eat when you were there for a long time? Well, I mostly made my own food at home, but if I was outside, butter chicken rice is like my go to. You can never go wrong with it, no matter which stall you're in. Ow. No matter which stall you're in, butter chicken, you cannot mess up. That's my opinion. And butter chicken rice isn't even like the most amazing thing ever, but there's something that it's reliable. It's not amazing, but when in doubt, when you're hungry and you want something that isn't, you're guaranteed at least an okay meal. That's the way I look at it. Or never mind, my bank account is in the negatives. Well, that's awful. Actively can't afford anything. Well, you know what you can afford? A good time here on stream. So why not sit back, relax, enjoy? It's free. I get paid on 25th. I'll be fine, probably. Yeah, fingers crossed. It's either really good or stomach pain for butter chicken. What else is good food that I would have? I was never a big fan of noodles. So whenever we go to any of the food stalls, I usually just go for butter chicken. Or if that's not an option, I think a sweet and sour chicken rice is the way to go. That works wonders. Yeah. Cup of noodles is the last thing I did. You know what I realized when I came here? You can get like a pack of not a pack, a single cup of noodles for £1. That is like 6 ringgit, and that is crazy. Because in Malaysia, you get them for like a fraction of that. Like that same price, you can get like a giant 12 pack or 6 pack. I don't know. I forget. I never liked eating noodles just alone. But what I discovered was I just mix like, I boil like 2 or 3 eggs and then like chop it up into pieces, throw it into the noodles. Beautiful. And then I learned that it's a lot of calories. So what I did was I just skipped the noodles and only ate the eggs. What about dry noodles? Yeah, I never liked soupy noodles, right? Whenever I would make the instant noodles, I would always get rid of the water, you know? When you say dry noodles, do you mean like uncooked? Is that what you mean by dry? You boil it in the water and then you remove the water, right? That's what you mean by dry. What Akaza is describing is raw. Okay, yeah. That is cooked. I was scared for a second. Don't eat raw noodles. It reminded me of that one scene from Kung Fu Panda where Poe's genius idea was to cook rice in his stomach by eating it raw and drinking boiling water. I will eat raw noodles. I don't think that's good for you. You know what's more expensive than groceries? Hospital bills. I don't think I like this song. There we go. This one is mostly free here. One thing one of my friends in Canada complained about is even though like healthcare is free in quotes, sometimes you wait for like 6 hours in line. Like she was telling me she had like alcohol poisoning and went to the emergency room and she had to wait there for like 6 hours by the time and she didn't even get like seen by a doctor. By the time those 6 hours were up, she had actually just recovered from it and just like left and went home. Very weird is kind of like that. Yeah, well, you see the thing is if well, since it's free, everyone, kind of just goes for every little thing. If it's like an actual poisoning, oh yeah. I think usually the way it works is they go to like the emergency room and they're like, oh, okay, is this life threatening? Like, will you die immediately if no one attends to you? If yes, you get rushed into a corner. If not, there's a line over there. The moral of the story: take care of yourself so you don't have to go to the hospital. Triage is the first step. I've not watched enough Grey's Anatomy to know what that means. Hold on, let me Google that. Triage is the process of assessing the urgency of a situation and sorting patients based on priority for treatment. Oh, okay. Oh, so that's what it's called. That's what every doctor wants. I spent 6 hours in hospital after I was hit by a car. That sounds awful. Well, I hope there was no long lasting damage. Because, well, obviously you survived. I think. Is there Wi Fi in the afterlife? Had a bruised hand, broken middle finger, and broken leg. Well, I hope you made a full recovery. I cannot say I haven't been there. Oh, okay, so you are still alive. That's funny if there is internet in the afterlife. You know what I would do if I was in charge of the torture in hell? I would make sure that there is internet access, right? Everyone has free Wi Fi, except it is 100 KB per second internet shared by every single person in hell. Hi, Maxine. We're talking about torturing people. Or actually, I'm talking about torturing people. Hello, Ordi. I have come to steal your plastic bags. Well, I don't have any. I have a bunch of Tote bags, that's what I use for shopping. Or is this back in 2021? Yeah, well, do you mean average Australian Wi Fi? It can't be that bad. You have not seen bad internet, if that's what you think. If I was in charge of hell, I'd give everyone a hangnail and clippers that are just too short to clip it. See, I like your style. Torture, right? Some people are masochists. Poke them with, a hot poker, they'll cry more, right? Now, tiny inconveniences, the one that gets under people's skin and tortures them, but is not actually big enough for them to do anything about, yeah. There's not just pain, it's just annoyances. Exactly. If you guys have watched Supernatural, that one demon, Crowley, when he became in charge of hell, he got rid of all of the torture. Hell ended up just being waiting in line. And it's like 1 million people before you. You just take a ticket, you have a number, and you wait in line. Once you get to the front of the queue, you just go to the back. And he said, I think the rationale, if I remember correctly, was some people are like masochists and some people get used to the pain, but no one likes waiting in line. Honestly, same for like evil curses, inconveniences to just bother people. 10 out of 10. Would I do that but make it random number each time? I don't know how that works because it's a queue system. You ever go to like offices and you have to like go to like a counter but there's a line, so what you do is you push a button and it prints you a ticket and says you are customer 100 now serving customer 82, and you just have to wait till your number's called. No? Oh, okay. Well, it was basically that system. Fight for the queue. Well, you're giving them something to do. I don't go into offices. I want to say lucky you because it's always a mundane experience. With me, I don't mind things taking a long time, but I hate waiting. Okay, if you have to walk for an hour to get to some place, or you get there instantly but have to wait for an hour, waiting is torturous, right? But walking, you're doing something, you're active, you're seeing new things. But just waiting and not doing anything, torturous. I hate waiting for traffic lights. I don't think I've driven enough to have an opinion. Bonding torture instead of pain is having bad internet. Yeah, because if you have no internet, you just give up and you're like, okay, there's no internet. I'm just gonna go and find something else to do. But if you have slow internet, what you'll do is you'll cling to that hope, right? You will desperately beg, please load. You hit refresh thinking maybe this time it'll work, right? And then as that hope is built up within like a while, every few minutes, you get the error like, oh, page timed out. That hope crumbles and breaks you a little bit on the inside. I don't drive, I walk. I can't drive. Well, technically, I can drive legally because I have a license from my home country and I can use it here, but it's only valid for like a year. So I'm working on getting my a UK license. And when I say I can drive, I mean that legally, not practically, because I got my driver's license, I passed the exam, got the thing, and then I did not touch a car for many, many years. So I passed, but I had no experience, no practice, and yeah, all of that just evaporated. So whenever someone asks me, "Can you drive?" I'm like, legally yes, practically no. But hey, I am fixing that. I can't and shouldn't drive. I can barely control my body, so you know what? Fair. I think I'm too easily distracted, so I don't know if me driving is a good idea, but we'll see. I haven't died yet, so. But at least here, everyone, like, follows the rules of the road. It's like relatively safe. In my home country, even if I could drive, I would not get behind the wheel. Gonna drive a manual car. Well, if it makes you feel any better, most cars are automatic these days. I don't think this side matters. It's all good. Or if that's the case, then why is my grandmother the only person in the family with an auto? I guess because you guys have had the same car for ages. I know my older brother really, really liked manual cars. He was one of those, I don't know, manual car purists. Because people that drive manual will die by it and force it on the family. Well, I'm glad that my dad is a very open minded person. Even like after graduating and stuff, right? When I was looking for my first job, he's like, "Yeah, I know it's tough. It's not the same as it was, like back in my day, but you'll find something." Thumbs up. It was reassuring stuff like that. Not like I've seen other horror stories where people keep getting badgered by like their parents. It's because of the initial D. No, basically, what Maxine means is some people who like manual cars will never buy an automatic car for like their children. Be like, everyone should learn manual. What do you mean automatic? I can change the gear myself. I do think people like manual cars because of that anime. I think it's because of like the Fast and Furious movies. Or maybe some people just like the feeling. That's what my brother said. He liked the feeling of manually changing it. Fun fact, did you I don't know if this is true, but I saw this like ages ago. It could be made up. Fact check it yourself, but I thought it was funny. Apparently after the Fast and Furious movies came out, like once they released in theaters, the number of car accidents went up noticeably. Coincidence? Perhaps. Maybe some people got a little bit excited after watching the movie. But actually, my a problem that I have, according to my instructor, is I'm a bit hesitant and I drive slowly, not quickly. Which apparently is a way to fail your test here. Because apparently, if you drive too slowly, right, you, in quotes, hold up traffic and you get a fail. And it's not even like crazy level of slowness. It's just like if you're, I think, 10 miles per hour below the speed limit, that counts as holding up traffic. I don't know if my instructor is just like a little bit too strict with that, but I don't know. Because in Lex Manual, he has a van. Understandable. Once I get my license, I was thinking, do I get a car or do I just get a van? I like the idea of a van because, what's it called? It has a lot of space, and I'm a very. What's the word I'm looking for? Practical person. So I'm like, okay, this car looks nice, but this one has more inventory slots. You know what I mean? Just get up to speed and set cruise control. I don't know if that car has it. It actually does have, I don't know, it has a very fancy dashboard. So if it has cruise control, I'm not sure how that works. Also costs more to fill up on gas. You're right. More inventory space, meaning more space to nap in when needed. Yeah, and even if like it's like parked somewhere, and I'll have like too many things in my room, and I want to just store them. Like old suitcases and whatever. I could just dump them in the back there. There is an attic here, but it's climbing upstairs, and I've seen enough movies about haunted attics, so I'm like, it's fine. So my room is a little bit cluttered. I see Wally sleeping. Or if I needed to move, I would need to hire a van or make multiple trips. Hmm. Nah, I have a backseat for that. It's fine. Or at least I would when I get it. But the cars here are like super cheap. I saw one that was going for like £500, and I was immediately suspicious. It was some like really old car. And I was like, I have paid almost 3 times that for my driving license alone. I have a truck and a car, so I just drive what I need to get the job done. Well, what I'm lacking is money, so. But yeah, that is the ideal situation. Currently, I'm thinking I can have either or, but not both. For one thing, I have nowhere to park it. In fact, even if I get a car now, I don't know where I'm gonna park it. This place, its parking slots are already taken up by the other housemates. So I have to park maybe down the street or something. I don't know. We'll see. My learner's license cost me 53. We're talking about like the actual license plus the cost of like driving classes. So yeah, that's what I mean. Because yeah, the instruction here, driving. Sorry, I'm fumbling my words. Hiring a driving instructor to teach you is like crazy expensive. Speaking of streets, I heard the UK is planning on reducing the width of traffic lanes. Why? They're already so narrow. I get really nervous going through like the really tight ones. Not only are they narrow, but cars are parked on the side. So it's basically a one lane road where there's one lane in two-way traffic. Literally the rules are, how do you say this? The rules are basically, oh, if there's only one lane, this is how you handle letting squeezing past the cars and letting the other person go, or if they let you go, yada yada yada. And I was like, why don't they just not park cars on the side? You know? It's about making it harder for cars to pass bicyclists. Why would anyone want that? Also, by the way, I'm starting to understand the hate for cyclists. Because like I was trying to like park or something, and some guy just like came out of nowhere speeding past me on a bike, and the instructor was like, "Oh, if this was the test, you probably would have failed because," and then it points to the cyclist and explains stuff. Driving instructors aren't required here; they're encouraged since the first 10 hours. Understandable, but a but crazy thing here, when you go for like the driving exam, the driving test, they don't provide you with a car. You have to bring your own, and that was wild. Even my shitty third world country, when you go for the test, they have their own car. So I was like, how the hell is this supposed to work? And then I realized, oh, you have to go to a driving school, and then you borrow their car on the day of the exam. You basically rent it from them. But that was a little bit of a shock. Not shock, but like, I was a bit confused because I'm like, why? But yeah, if you have like the learner, oh, sorry, I think it's called provisional license here. Literally anyone can teach you. But I have neither car nor someone willing to teach me, so yeah, I've got to get an instructor. And one of the things I hate about cyclists is there is a sidewalk, there is a bicycle lane, but they still cycle on the road. When I had my bike in Malaysia, right, I was always on the sidewalk. They didn't have bike lanes there. And the places that did, people didn't understand that this is a bike lane. Cars aren't supposed to be there. So I never trusted them. To get your P's, you just need 90 hours of driving during the day, 10 hours at night, while having a fully licensed driver in your car. Oh, here I think you just need to take the test and the instructor just gives you thumbs up or thumbs down. I think that's how it works here. Each country is different. Mine, getting your license is a formality. It's not a test. You show up, you get in the driver's seat, you don't crash the car, and the guy's like, okay, here you go. I'm not exaggerating. I think my test took like between 30 seconds to 3 minutes, something like that. I literally just drove in a straight line and turned one corner. That's it. Needless to say, not a lot of good drivers in my home country. Uh-oh. Never mind, we fixed it. It's kind of all over the world thing. The testing or the bad drivers? Because Malaysia didn't have the best drivers. I remember, I think like I had a handful of close encounters while I was in Malaysia. And it was almost always when I was on the sidewalk and someone decided they didn't want to wait in traffic. So they just drive onto the sidewalk and yeah, they use it as their own lane. It's a crazy, okay, it is crazy how often that happens. And then they honk at you when you're on the sidewalk as if you're in the way. So I never understood that. I didn't like KL drivers. And the ones in East Malaysia, even worse. Did I mess this up? I think I did. Ah, well. In Australia, there's three stages to get your full license versus your learners. Second is your red P provisional one, then green. After 2 years on your green, you can get your full license. Sounds like a hassle, but at least you can drive. Because for here, it's you either have your license or you don't. Hold on, I messed this up a bit. Once you're on your piece, you're legally allowed to drive on your own. Yeah, they don't do that here. Provisional license just means that you can drive with an instructor next to you. L just requires to have a fully licensed driver in the car with us. You also don't have to take a driving test to get your L's here. Oh, okay. You know, I may complain about like the procedure and stuff, but like at the end of the day, I would say from a lot of the countries that I lived in, here has like the nicest drivers. You still get the occasional maniac or two, but in general, when it comes to like following the rules and even just like politeness and letting people go first, I would say here is like the nicest I've seen so far. Much smoother. Well, we have an ad playing, so I'm just gonna continue the work. Here we go. Ta-da! Now, I don't know what these are. I think it is hair. So I'm just gonna make it bouncy. Hmm. I think I'll just leave it for now. Or there we go. Ads are done. Welcome back. I had to take Road Ready twice because I was hit by a car before I could finish it the first time and missed the final 5 lessons because of doctor's visits. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, this one I think might be a bit tricky. Okay, let's see. Actually, not bad. Why does it look all weird? I need to replace this. Hold on. You know what? I'll do it later. It's fine. Hmm. Well, it's only been an hour. I am feeling a little tired. So, a little bit of a very short stream today, but we are gonna call it here. Yeah. So, thanks everyone for stopping by. Hope you had a great time. I know I did, and I'll see you next time. Mm, hold on, let us read. All right. Well, I'll see you all next time, which is day after tomorrow. Sorry for the shorter stream. I actually did consider not doing so today because I was a bit sleepy. But yeah, I hope you'll forgive me for the shorter one, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye. Thanks for the stream anytime. Well, thanks everyone for joining. Yeah, that's basically the reason I stream. Have a good night, sleep well. Thank you. Bye bye. I think I'll just hit the read now button rather than waiting for the timer. There's only so many ways I can say goodbye before I feel awkward. So yeah, bye bye.